Does it feel like the intimacy in your marriage has just disappeared? You're not alone. What if I told you that the problem isn't just her, it's you? Stay tuned to discover how to turn your relationship around before it's too late. We're going live. We'll do it live.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
Happy hump day, gents. What it do, baby? If you are new to the channel, my name is Paul Bauer, and I help men level up and get better with women. And the funny thing about leveling up and getting better with women is that it makes us better men in all areas of our lives. Now, I found a post in one of the dead bedroom groups on Reddit. Let me bring that up here. And the guy says, I thought maybe we could finally get a conversation going about how disconnected everything has been feeling lately. It did not go well. She basically shut down, said she was tired, and went to bed early. It honestly felt like confirmation of everything I've been afraid of, that I'm just a convenience rather than someone she's actually invested in emotionally. I'm feeling pretty down right now. Made lunch for the kids a little while ago and decided I just needed to get out of the house for a bit. Sitting in the gym parking lot right now, trying to motivate myself to go inside, but mostly just trying to clear my head. Now, this guy feels like he's just a convenience in his wife's life right now. The connection is gone, and every effort to rekindle it seems to fall flat. And if you're in the same situation where it feels like your relationship is just a routine and intimacy is a distant memory, you probably feel like you've already lost. You wonder where things went wrong. But here's the truth. The solution doesn't lie in begging or pleading for affection. It lies in rediscovering your masculinity and your strength. So let's explore how you can break free from the cycle of disconnection and reignite that attraction. But before we get into it, guys, do be sure to like, subscribe, and hit those notifications. I do have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday without fail. And if you guys are watching live right now, please sound off in the comments. I want to hear from you. If you guys are watching live on TikTok, head on over to my YouTube channel, and you guys can sound off over there, and I can actually bring your comments up on the screen. And then, guys, for the love of God, please send super chats. Okay, that helps support the show probably more than anything else. All right. All right, so let's get into it. Let's look at the problem, right? Here's what's really common, right? Like when a woman emotionally shuts down, it's usually a symptom of attraction, right? Not it's a symptom of attraction, okay? It's her shutting down isn't the root problem. It's kind of like dead bedrooms. That's not the root problem. It's a symptom of a much larger issue, and it's usually an attraction issue, right? And the thing is that attraction fades when a man loses his edge. He stops leading. He starts acting like a roommate instead of a lover. He falls into her frame. We call this the betatization process, right? It's a 5-step process where she starts testing him. She tries to get him up to open up emotionally, to try to be more vulnerable. She starts using that against him. She starts putting him to work. She basically emasculates him and nags him. And then she loses all respect for him. And then eventually she doesn't know why she's with him. And then she starts wondering, man, did I settle? Did I settle? And then her evolutionary selfishness kicks in and she starts looking for better options, right? That's hypergamy. So when she's pulling away like that and she's being really distant and you're in a dead bedroom situation, you can guarantee she's lost attraction for you, bro. Right? Women don't act like that around guys that they're highly attracted to. And most men unknowingly go through a slow behavioral shift from confident and bold to agreeable and validation seeking, right? And that absolutely kills the polarity in a relationship. And when we talk about polarity, we're talking about masculine traits in men and feminine traits in women that are meant to complement each other. But if you're not doing the masculine stuff you're supposed to be doing, that creates a vacuum in the relationship that she feels that void, and she has to hop into that role. And now she's acting more in her masculine. Now she's leading the relationship. And she starts wondering why she's with you, right? Because she's like, I want a man. Man, I was just a guest on a show on Monday. I think it was Monday morning, right before Monday's episode. And I was on with these British guys who it was almost like an ambush, right? Like they did not like red pill. And the funny thing is when I was talking to them about the whole concept of a captain and his executive officer type dynamic in a relationship instead of an equal partnership, these guys were like, oh, that's not going to work. And that doesn't fly in modern times. That might work for a small subset of people, the guys were saying. And I was like, it actually works for a vast majority of people because that's our natural human state. You know what I mean? Well, anyway, one of the guys from the show went to his wife after the show and says, honey, do you want me to be the commanding officer of the relationship? Like, do you want me to lead? And she goes, yes, absolutely. And so he came back to me on Instagram. He's like, I think I owe you an apology. I asked my wife if she wanted me to be in charge, and she said yes. And I was like, well, that was your first mistake, bro. Like, you know, don't just walk up to your wife and say, hey, can I have permission to lead the relationship? Like, that's not going to work out, bro. I don't know. But anyway, that's what they want. And so if you're not doing that sort of thing, then that attraction will erode over time. And then she doesn't want to fuck you anymore, bro. I don't know what to say. We're not at the 8-minute mark. Guys, please send super chats. Oh my God. Hey, you guys over on TikTok, head on over to my YouTube channel. The link's in the bio. We're live over there right now. Anyway, so that kills polarity. If there's no polarity in the relationship where you're fully embracing your masculine role, you're setting the tone, you're leading that relationship, allowing her to relax into her feminine and be kind and loving and nurturing, she's going to have to step into the masculine because someone has to take charge. You don't have equal partnerships in a romantic relationship. I don't care what society says. You don't. And what happens when you think that you do is most men tend to defer to their wives. And that's because you've been programmed your whole life to have this happy wife, happy life mindset. And you want to make sure that whatever she wants, because you don't really care what you want. Man, one of the Beer Club brothers yesterday, brother David, sent me a TikTok with this guy was going viral, had 1 million views on this. And the guy was like, I prioritize my wife's happiness over everyone else in the household, because if she's happy, everyone else is going to be happy. So you know, it's her, and then it's the kids, and my happiness comes last, right? And all these women were like, yes, I wish my husband would act like that. And all that. I guarantee your fucking husband's acting like that, bitch. Like most husbands are acting like that. That's what society tells us to do, to dance around your fucking feelings and to, you know, prioritize your happiness. And the thing is, the more you try to prioritize a woman's happiness, the less happy she gets, right? So like what Puck said it really good, right? If you guys read the book of Puck said it really well. And I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said the quickest way to make a woman unhappy is give her everything she wants, right? And that's absolutely true. And it's counterintuitive. It's counterintuitive, right? But it's true. So forget all that. You have to have that polarity. You have to be the man in the relationship. You have to set the tone and lead. You have to be the patriarch, right? You have to be decisive. You have to be assertive. You have to set boundaries. You have to be stern, be able to tell her no. She doesn't always get her way. You know what I mean? You got to be able to do that. And she wants that. She wants that. Women will say in the comments that they don't want that sort of thing, but that's not what they respond to. I only care about what women respond to, okay? Because that's what's effective. Now, if your wife no longer sees you as sexually desirable, it's often because you've slipped into comfort provider mode, right? We talk about hypergamy in this space a lot. It's dualistic. right? If you're going to be in a long-term relationship, you have to have both qualities of the, both the alpha and beta qualities. A lot of people don't like alpha and beta, right? So you can say the sexually attractive qualities and the comfort qualities, however you want to describe it, so that your feels don't get offended. Fine. All right. But what happens is you have sexually attractive qualities, you have comfort qualities, and you've gone too hard on the comfort quality shit. You become a paycheck to her. You go out, you slay the dragons, as Brother David in Beer Club says. You go out, you put food on the table, you bring home the bacon, everything else you leave up to her. And you're a good dad, and you play with the kids, and you try to make her happy at all costs. And she's just like, okay, I mean, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, right? Which means I oxytocin you, but I don't dopamine you, right? I'm not sexually attracted to you anymore. We're good pals. We're basically roommates at this point, but I'm just not in the mood. I got a headache every night. You know what I mean? You've gone too hard on the beta side of hypergamy, right? And so trying to talk your way back into emotional connection, that usually backfires. And that's what the guy at the top of the show did, right? He wanted to have a conversation about the disconnection that they're having. He wanted to have a conversation about it. Why aren't we having sex anymore? Let's talk about this. Let's have a chat. The key to a healthy relationship is communication, right? Well, you can't talk your way into her bed by coming from a position of by coming from a lower position, right? you're coming from a lower position, a guy who's not getting his needs met, and you're basically begging her for sex at this point, right? That's even less attractive. So it just doubles down her belief that I shouldn't put out with this guy. He's not the guy. He doesn't get it, right? And you got to understand, attraction isn't logical. It's not logical. A lot of guys, like men tend to be more logical, right? We tend to be more, I like to say rational, but we're not. Like we end up, we're emotional too, right? But our emotions usually is a default to anger. But we're a little more logical when it comes to stuff like that. Women, everything's emotion based. It's all about how they feel about it, right? But we try to be more logical. You can't logic your way back into your wife's bed. Right? You can't logic your way back to the pussy. You can't do that. So talking it out and talking about your feelings, it comes across to her like you're whining and complaining. You know what I mean? It's not attractive. You're like groveling for that pussy at that point. So talking it out is not going to work. Okay. Attraction isn't logical. It's emotional. Okay. It's instinctual on her part. She doesn't know why she's not attracted to you anymore. She doesn't even know half the time. She just knows that you're giving her the ick, and she's all of a sudden developed a headache or whatever fucking excuse she comes up with, right? Like, oh, I've got low libido. Oh, I think I might be going through menopause. I think I might have a chemical imbalance. Oh yeah, have you seen a doctor about it? No, things are just too busy right now. Whatever fucking excuse that she can hold up as a shield to keep you from fucking her. Right? Hey, I'm gonna have the kids sleep in our bedroom until they're 13, so that it removes the opportunity of sex. Right? Women do this kind of shit when they're not attracted to you. Okay. You can't talk your way out of it. Can't. You guys also need to stop assuming that vulnerability and emotional openness always brings closeness. It fucking doesn't. Okay. I don't care what society says. I don't care what Brene Brown says, that vulnerability is strength. It's fucking not. Okay. Vulnerability is exactly what it sounds like. Get a thesaurus. You are leaving yourself open for attack. It's different from intimacy. Okay. It's different. So if you go to her and you're like, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling rejected, I'm feeling less of a man because you won't sleep with me, you're being vulnerable to her. It's going to come across to her like you're whining and complaining. It's not going to be the emotional connection that you think she wants. It's fucking not. Okay. In long-term relationships, it can often lower your perceived strength in her eyes. Women are security-seeking creatures that respond to strength. Okay. If you are whining to her about this sort of thing, you appear weak to her. Do you understand? She's at a position above you. She's the decider of what happens in this relationship next. And you're coming to her begging, begging for a scrap, right? It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. Okay. You actually come across as more needy, less attractive, weak. It gives her the ick, right? It gives her the ick. So the first step is personal accountability. Oh, man, and this is the thing too. Like one of the biggest complaints I get on my social media videos is, oh, it's all the man's fault, right? It's all the man's fault. How come we're never holding these women accountable? Like, they're married, right? They signed the deal. They know what their bargain, the end of the bargain is. The end of the bargain is unlimited access to sex, right? And we bring home the bacon. Well, we're upholding our deal. Why aren't they upholding theirs? Let's hold them accountable. But a lot of these guys never want to look in the mirror. They can't hold themselves accountable. How do you expect to hold anybody else accountable if you don't hold yourself accountable? Right? Everyone wants to point the fucking finger at everyone else, and no one ever wants to look at themselves. Like, what can I do better? What can I do differently? Right? What kind of boundaries can I set? What kind of standards can I hold for myself? You know what I mean? Like, if you start looking at yourself and what you're tolerating and what you're allowing into your life, you realize you allowed all this into your life. You did that. Okay? She didn't bamboozle you. She bamboozled me into the marriage, and now I'm stuck here. Fuck, No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop it. So the first step is personal accountability, right? Ask yourself how you've contributed to the dynamic you're now stuck in. How did you get here? Right? What was the relationship like in the beginning? Now, there are some guys, and I think this is a small subset of guys, right? There are some guys who the relationship was never good to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, she was never that into him to begin with. She was just settling for a beta provider, right? There's a lot of that, but I don't think that's the majority of people, right? There's guys that are, and I did a whole episode on Christian guys, and it's not to bag on Christian guys. It's just that they're following the Bible like they're trained, they're taught, like they're supposed to, so they can get into heaven or whatever. And so what they'll do is they won't properly, test out the relationship before they go and pull that trigger. They're immediately rushing for marriage, and they won't have sex before marriage. And then it's too late. By that time, it's too late. And they find out on their honeymoon, oh shit, she's not that into me. Like, those types of situations are pretty fucking hard to deal with, bro. She was never that into you to begin with, right? But I would say a vast majority of guys, the relationship was pretty hot and heavy in the beginning, and then that attraction eroded over time, and now they're in a spot where they're at, right? So you got to look back at what were you doing differently in the beginning? What were you doing that made you attractive to her in the first place, right? So how have you contributed to the dynamic you're now stuck in? Think about that one for a minute, guys. And while you're thinking about that, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. You guys over on TikTok, you're already following me. Follow me on Instagram, because TikTok hates me, okay? Instagram fucking hates me too. Everyone hates me, man. I don't get it. I think I'm a pretty likable guy. I don't know. Let me know in the chat what you guys are like. Fucking hate Paul. I don't know. We're just here in the comments to hate comment for Paul here. Guys, get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. I've mentioned the betatization process and how that attraction erodes over time. I talk about that in She's Made You Weak. It's a free ebook I wrote. It's only like 11 pages, right? You can read it in while you're sitting on the toilet or something like that, right? But get that. It'll explain the situation you're in if you're in a dead bedroom situation like my man that we brought up at the top of the hour, okay? And you can figure out where you went wrong and try to get back to the beginning of that, okay? If that's really the key to fixing a dead bedroom situation, is getting yourself back to the beginning of the betatization process and starting from scratch there, right? But how do you do that? Well, first, get the email or get on the email list, go to list.comeonmanpod.com and get that ebook. And then get my latest book, Get Her to Fuck You Again. It's available on Amazon and Audible. Links in my bio for you guys on TikTok for that. But let me play a commercial for that, and then we'll get back to the topic at hand today, helping this guy out.
Are you tired of the dead bedroom? Wondering what happened to the passion, the connection, and the spark? Well, here's your answer. Introducing Get Her to Fuck You Again, a red pill guide to fix a dead bedroom, now on Amazon. This isn't about manipulation or tricks. It's about real strategies that work. If your wife has stopped being intimate with you, it's not because the love is gone. It's because the attraction is gone. And that's fixable. This book will teach you the skills to lead your marriage, rebuild your confidence, and become the man she can't stop thinking about. 3 reasons to get this book. 1. It breaks the cycle. You'll learn how to stop doing the same things that are killing her attraction and start doing the things that reignite it. 2. It's practical and proven. With clear, actionable steps, you'll build yourself into the man you were always meant to be. 3. It works for men like you. Paul Bauer has helped hundreds of men just like you fix their dead bedrooms. And now, it's your turn. Don't let another day go by feeling frustrated and disconnected. Go to Amazon right now and buy Get Her to Fuck You Again. Read it, apply it, and watch your marriage transform. The connection isn't gone forever. You just need the roadmap to get it back. And this book is it.
I was on a podcast yesterday, a podcast recording. It's not going to come out until fucking September. I love some of these podcast guys. And I used to do the same thing, right? I used to pre-record all the podcasts and then schedule them out. And some of these guys are like, they've got their podcast scheduled out a year in advance. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, I was on a podcast with a guy like that. And we were talking about my book. And I was saying how I was like, I purposefully made the title edgy, right? Because it turns out, even though you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, everyone judges books by their cover. And if you really want to grab that attention, you got to have an edgy title. And so I was like, all right, we'll make after my last 2 books, they weren't edgy enough. I was like, okay, we'll make a fucking edgy ass title for this one. And yeah, I go, but if your wife read the book, if your wife like found the book and started thumbing through it, she'd be like, yep, do what he says in the book. Do what he says in the book. He's not wrong. Oh man. Oh, we got some super chats here. Okay, hold on. Let's get some of these comments. We got brother CW from Beard Club. He says, morning, gents. Classes in session. Ray Leyland. Good morning, all. Camel Day. Oh, right. Yes, it's hump day. Yes, it's not Camel Day. It's hump day. Yes, you're right, Ray. Mr. Boulay and the Department of Numismatics says, good morning, folks. That's a hell of a fucking name, bro. Ray also says, I put my happiness last, just made me exhausted and unpleasant to be around. Yes, most of us did. And we had to learn the fucking hard way. And I stitched that guy's video yesterday. And I was like, look, man, if you do that, you're going to be knocking down my door in 10 fucking years, because she's not going to be happy. You prioritize her happiness. She's going to be the most unhappy woman on the planet. And then you're going to wonder what the hell went wrong. Right? I did everything I was supposed to do, and I don't know why she filed for divorce. Like, that's everyone's story in the red pill space. I swear to God. Kamal with a 5.99 euros. These are the types of guys who claim they are okay with their woman sleeping in another bedroom. Oh man, they are. Now Kamal's he's not just a Beer Club brother. He's also my 3% brother. I'm gonna give him the bouncing blubs video, and this always demonetizes me, guys. So make it worth my while. Would you send some super chats?
Thank you for the super chats. Boobies bouncing, can't stop that. From the east to the west, you are the best. Keep those chats coming in, let's do it all again.
All right. And then Brother John from Beer Club sent a $10 super chat. He goes, if you put her on a pedestal, she has no choice but to look down on you. Why would you want to force both of you into that position? Right? Right? And then he's also a Beer Club brother. I want to bump him up to the $20 super chat video.
Super chat, we see you there. Shake it, dance without a care. Send it love from everywhere. Groovy beats we all can share. No support, it's so divine. Moving closer to the line. Thank you, you're the best. Party on, we never rest.
And there goes the monetization. And then Brother John also says, I love the hate comments and Paul's calm replies. Makes me giggle all the time. Dude, I love the hate comments. My favorites are the MGTOW guys, because I'm actually trying to save marriages out here, you know. And the reason why is like there's a lot of guys that didn't know what they didn't know, right? Like to me, it's not their fault that they went with society's plan and got married. You know, yeah, in the red pill space, marriage is a bad deal for men, so we don't recommend it. But there's guys that didn't get that memo, and so it's like, yeah, like let's try to save some of these marriages if we can. And the in the comments I get is like, just leave her, bro. Just, you know, it's all about your peace, and it's worth the hundreds of thousands of dollars in alimony and child custody battles and the fucking mental headaches of going to court and all this shit. It's worth it, bro. It's worth it for my peace. It's like, you know, or they'll say, just don't get married. Just stay single, bro. Just what? Don't get married. Just stay single, bro. And it's like, okay, maybe that's good advice for single guys. Yeah, maybe don't get married. But what's your advice for guys that didn't get that memo? What are you gonna tell those guys? They're like, oh, I'm telling them get the fuck out. It's worth their peace, bro. Like, there's no peace. There's no peace. It's like it's at least 7 years of fucking mental misery. All right, there's no peace there. CW says, being raised as a people pleaser really set me up to fail on many things in my early life. I'm glad I'm not like that as much. Paul's content has been a big help with that. I'm glad, bro. Glad I can help, man. Comments like that actually really is why this podcast is still going after 5 years. All right. Segment 2. How to fix the power dynamic, right? Because that's the situation. When you're in a dead bedroom situation, it's not a dead bedroom situation. It's a power vacuum situation, right? And she's stepped into the role of masculine leader and she fucking resents you for it. It's not her natural state. She wants to be a woman. She wants to be able to relax in her feminine, be a good mom, be a good, you know, take care of the household and enjoy doing it and get fulfillment from that. But now you're also making her make decisions. You're making her have to set boundaries and the rules and all this kind of stuff. Like she don't want that, right? She wants you to do all that, but you're like, I'm trying to make her happy. So we want to do what she wants to do, right? No. What will make her happy? What will make her the closest to happy? Because women are never truly happy, right? Is by you taking the fucking reins and taking that burden off of her. That will be the closest thing to happy you'll ever fucking get. Okay. So how do we fix this? One, you got to stop trying to fix the relationship through words. Start showing leadership through actions and behaviors. And it starts with you, right? You can't lead the relationship if you can't lead yourself first, right? So this is where we work on our money, muscles, game, and frame. Shout out to MLD, right? But you go to the gym first because that's where you're going to start seeing real results. And I guarantee a vast majority of you guys, because 75% of people in the West are obese now. Guarantee you let yourself slip there. So let's start with some discipline. Let's start with leading yourself. Let's get back to the gym. Let's start eating right. Okay. Let's start working on not being fat anymore. All right. We start leading in that area. We start leading in your finances. Don't let your wife run the finances anymore. Take control. Take that back. Just say, honey, this isn't your problem anymore. I got it. Right. And then you take control of the finances again. You start working on your social skills again, right? That's where game is. Game is really just social skills. When was the last time you hung out with the boys? Probably years. It's probably been years, because most men isolate themselves in their marriage. They think that their wife doesn't want them to have friends or a social life outside of the marriage. So they make their wife their sole source of socialization, their wife and their kids. They go to work, they talk to the people at work, but those guys aren't real friends. Those are coworkers, right? And then they come home, and the only people that they have to associate with are their wives and their kids. And that's a massive burden on your wife. She now has to be everything to you. She doesn't want to be everything to you. She wants to be your lover. You know what I mean? She's not your fucking therapist. You can't come and like lay all your baggage and problems on her, right? So stop doing that. Start building up a social life again. Start building up a circle of friends. Start doing stuff for yourself. Go out, have a bowling night with the boys, right? Have drinks at the bar and talk to the strangers at the bar and stuff like that, right? Like, get out at least once a week and go be social with people again. Okay. And then your frame, your mental frame, right? Money, muscles, game, and frame, the core four. Your frame is your mental frame. How do you handle your wife's mood swings? How do you handle your wife's shit tests? How do you handle your wife nagging you? How do you handle all that kind of stuff? How do you handle bad situations, emergency situations? Do you freak out? Do you lose your mind and start yelling at things? You start smashing shit around. I saw a video the other day I stitched where a guy, his wife was filming him, and women are happy to film this type of shit nowadays, right? But you lose your temper and you grab a chair and throw it at the fucking fridge, right? Is that how you handle stuff? Because then if you do, you have no frame, right? You have no mental frame. So you got to work on that. Work on having a little bit of emotional control, how to handle adversity, how to handle shit tests from a calm, dominant, masculine presence type mentality, right? You want to work on all that kind of stuff. So yeah, regain your masculine frame. This means being outcome independent, unreactive, and emotionally stable. And that's hard for guys, right? We're supposed to be these logical, rational beings, but we are often reactive to a lot of stuff. You go to try to initiate sex with your wife, she rejects you, you flip out about it, right? You start getting mad and you start being passive aggressive about it, right? All that kind of stuff fully, like, basically reinforces to her that she made the right decision not having sex with you, right? So you got to fix that kind of shit, right? It's unattractive behavior. You have to reestablish yourself as the captain, not her emotional sounding board. Okay. Well, I mean, here's the thing, like, that's worded wrong in my notes, Chat GPT. When you do it, when she does have a problem, she needs to come to you, right? She needs to come to you. You have to be an active listener, and you don't want to solve her problems. In that situation, you do want to be her emotional sounding board, right? You want to repeat back to her some of the shit she's saying, right? But in order for that to be effective, you have to establish yourself as the captain. You have to establish yourself as her rock that she can come to, right? And it doesn't work the other way around. You want to avoid seeking reassurance, over communicating, or trying to win her back through niceness, right? And that's what a lot of guys do, right? They go pick up the book, The Love Languages, and they try to figure out what their wife's love language is, or they go into a dead bedroom forum, and that's what people say. Well, have you tried speaking her love language? None of that shit works. In fact, I'm going to write a book on that maybe next year, on how the love languages won't fix your fucking marriage, right? How there's been at least 2 studies over the last 30 years that have dismantled the love languages, but yet it's such a popular concept in the relationship advice space that people still fucking cling to it, right? But that's not going to work. Okay. It ends up being one giant covert contract when you're trying to use it to fix your marriage, right? You're trying to do all these nice things, hoping she'll reciprocate. Like, you're giving to get. That's nice guy behavior. Okay. And it ends up lowering your status. She basically starts looking at you like, oh, good, he's a slave. He'll do more fucking chores for me. And I'll just keep dangling this pussy carrot in front of him, and I'll never give it to him, right? Because the more he does this stuff, the more I lose attraction for him. And I don't know why. Right? Because a lot of the times women are just not aware of it. It's their wiring. It's their, their monkey brain or their lizard brain, right? Their, their evolved, instinct. It's not even a conscious thing. They're just like, I don't know why I'm not attracted to this guy anymore, but I don't want to put out, and all of a sudden I have a headache, right? You want to get back in shape. I mentioned that already, right? But you want to not just get in shape in the gym. You also want to do it mentally, emotionally, right? Strength, both physical and mental, is attractive. That's why frame is so important. That's mental strength, right? You want to reintroduce healthy tension in the relationship, right? I call it heat, healthy emotional anticipation and tension. You want to reintroduce that because that's what got her going in the first place. That's that thrill of the dating experience, right? Not going on a date itself, but just the whole act of coming together, creating that anticipation, something for her to look forward to, that kind of stuff, right? That the romantic energy was there. It's not there anymore. You guys are basically fucking living roommates now. You guys got too comfortable in the relationship. Absolutely kills attraction. Okay. So you got to understand that a part of that is creating scarcity and mystery again. And don't take my word for this. Okay. I learned this from Corey Wayne, but if you Google it, do a Google search for, it's been scientifically proven that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear, right? Google it. There's a fantastic study about how women respond to mystery, right? If they know a guy is like totally into them and fawning all over them, it causes them to lose that attraction to them. But if they're like not sure about you and they're wondering what you're thinking and all that kind of stuff, that gets her thinking about you. That boosts her heat, healthy emotional anticipation and tension. Okay. And that scarcity, that means like you're not so available all the time. That's why you go out and you have you start building a social circle. You start having a life outside your marriage again. Okay. And I'm not talking about going out and cheating, although that's an option. I don't necessarily recommend that. I don't think you need to do that, but go out and just be social again, right? Hang out with the boys, do something for you. Because if you're not there all the time, that creates scarcity, and that scarcity creates value. It's supply and demand. Okay. But if you're always there, always willing to do shit for her, always jumping whenever she says jump, right? Or you ask how high, you're a commodity now. And you have no value to her. Okay. She no perceived value that causes her attraction to erode. And you want to make decisions without needing her approval. Okay. You don't need her fucking buy-in. Just make a decision and run with it. That's a part of setting the tone and leading your relationship. Okay. You say, hey, we're doing this. We're doing this. Now you don't have to be a tyrant, and I love using the dinner analogy, right? But women don't want to make decisions. They just want to show up looking hot. So for the dinner debate, instead of saying, hey, where do you want to eat, honey? And getting into that whole fucking argument, you just say, hey, let's go eat at Chili's tonight. Grab your shoes, right? You're telling her what to do. Now, she might not like that idea. Okay. If she's your executive officer, there's no reason not to take her suggestions under advisement, but you're not going to her for the suggestion. You are saying, this is my plan. And if she doesn't like it, she might say, well, I don't like that place, right? Or I don't want to do that thing, or I don't want to do that project. Okay, well, do you have a better idea? If she does, great. There's no reason, and you like that idea, there's no reason not to go with her idea, right? But if she goes, I don't know, I just don't like that place. Okay, well, we're going to go with my idea, right? You're welcome to come along. You know what I mean? That's where you're making decisions. You're not seeking out her buy-in and approval for it. You're just fucking doing it. And you'll find that 9 times out of 10, she's just appreciative that she doesn't have to make decisions anymore. Women love not having to make decisions, especially if they're boss babes, right? And they go to work all day and they're making 1,000 decisions. The last thing they want to do is have to make a decision about what's for dinner. Women don't even know what they want to fucking wear half the time. You know what I mean? Decision making is your job as the man, and you leave it up to her because you're trying to make her happy all the time, which makes her more unhappy. Do you see how this works? It's very counterintuitive. You want to set firm boundaries when necessary, right? And let her experience the consequences of poor behavior, okay? And don't try to manage her emotions. Like, one of the biggest ways women manipulate men is knowing that we're trying to make them happy at all costs, right? And so if you say no to her, if you set a boundary, you say, hey, I'm not going to, doing X, Y, and Z behavior is unacceptable and it needs to stop now. And she starts pouting or crying or whatever. That's how women manipulate men, because they know we've been wired since birth to try to make them happy all the fucking time, right? So as soon as they're unhappy and they show a slightest bit of unhappiness, they typically know that you're going to fucking collapse and go, okay, you know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead and do what you want. I just, whatever. And then she loses more respect for you because you don't fucking stand your ground with shit like that, right? Let her be upset. Let her cry. It's not your job to make her happier, right? And what you'll find is that she might be upset in the moment when you tell her no, or set a boundary, or check her fucking shitty behavior. She might be mad in the moment, or she might cry in the moment. Let her. It's okay. Don't own it. Because in 30 minutes, in an hour, she's going to respect you more. And she's going to come crawl into your lap, dude. That's how that works. All right. You want to respect yourself enough to be okay with temporary discomfort or rejection. Most men can't fucking handle it. That's why we're able to be manipulated so easily by women and their emotions, and their nagging and they're crying and shit like that, because we can't handle the temporary discomfort of her feelings. We can't fucking handle it. And they know that, right? So you've got to be okay with it. You're not there to make her happy. You're there to set the tone and lead the relationship. Okay? But when you become okay with it, when you become okay with setting boundaries, telling her no, you're not swayed by her emotional changes and fluctuations, that's when the power dynamic really starts to shift and she starts fucking respecting you again. And when that respect starts coming back, that's when the attraction starts coming back. Do you understand how this works, guys? Paul, that's not what all the fucking, Men Are From Mars books say. That's not what all the women's fucking, cosmopolitan, that's not what that says. The fuck out of here. None of that shit works, right? All the bullshit advice you get at your typical standard blue-pilled marriage counselor doesn't fucking work. Okay? This works because relationships are they're a power dynamic, whether you like it or not. No, it's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be an equal partnerships. It doesn't fucking work that way. It just doesn't fucking work that way. Okay. All right. Now, I did mention it helps when guys rebuild their social circles outside of their marriage, right? That's very hard for guys to do. It's very hard for guys to go out and find friends, right? One way you could do that is through my beer club. All right. Join Beer Club. Go to beer.comeonmanpod.com. If you guys are watching on TikTok right now, you can find a link to Beer Club in the bio. It's just for men. It's for guys to talk about guys shit. We're swapping notes in there. Some of the guys are married. Some of the guys are in long-term relationships. Some of the guys are just out in the dating circuit. Some of the guys have just gone through divorce or a breakup. We're all in there swapping notes, and we've all been through the shit, right? So if you're looking for a group of like-minded guys, that's the place to do it. It's only $10 a month. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're having our monthly call. We have a call every month. Sometimes the guys in the group want to host an extra one, but every month we at least have one call. But the real value is in the Telegram community. All right. Join the Telegram community. Let me play a quick commercial for that since we're having our meetup tomorrow, and then we'll get back to, we'll finish up the topic.
Here's a harsh truth that everybody gets upset about online when I say it. They get upset because of their ego investment into the fairy tale idea of love and partnership. They get upset because of their ego investment into the idea that their woman is their best friend, their confidant, And they think that love will conquer all, and that their woman will be there through thick and thin. The truth is that as a man, your woman is hardwired biologically and psychologically to want you to be her rock. It doesn't work the other way around. Women do not care about your struggles as a man. They may think they care. They may even want to care, but her evolutionary DNA will not let her care. If you bring her your problems, she will lose attraction for you over time, and she will leave. Now, whenever I talk about this, people lose their minds and start talking about men unaliving themselves. The faster that men learn that women don't care about our struggles, the faster we'll save the lives of men. Men off themselves because of their own ego investments in the Disney fairy tale lie. And when that fairy tale goes up in flames, they get zeroed out and they end things. Men do need a proper outlet for dealing with their problems, but going to their woman isn't the answer. Men need a tribe. They need a brotherhood. That's why I created my beer club. It's a monthly virtual hangout for men only. It's a place where men can be men. It's a place where men can talk about guy stuff without having to worry about offending women. It's a place where they can go without having to worry about being called toxically masculine. It's a place where they can go to solve their problems. Because men solve problems, women cause problems, you dig? Visit beer.comeonmanpod.com. That's beer.comeonmanpod.com to sign up.
All right, guys. And then if you join Beer Club and you still find that you need some more one-on-one help when it comes to your long-term relationship or your dead bedroom situation, book a free call with me, okay? Go to call.fixdeadbedrooms.com. All right. Let's wrap this puppy up. We only have about 15 minutes left. Try to get through this without going over. So action steps and real solutions. That's what we're going to talk about next, right? So you guys want to focus entirely on proving yourself, not saving the marriage. What? But I want to get my wife to fuck me again, right? I want to get my wife to fuck me again. What do you mean not saving the marriage, right? Paradoxically, that's what often saves the marriage, right? Focusing on you, focusing on your mission, your purpose in life, leveling up, getting back to the gym, getting physically and mentally healthy, taking back control of the finances, right? Setting the tone and leading your relationships, learning how to set boundaries, having good mental frame, all that kind of stuff. You're working on yourself. And that's the goal, is to be the best version of yourself. Your wife either gets on board or you don't, or she doesn't, right? But paradoxically, that's when you start seeing the shift. Okay. So your focus can't be on what's my wife doing? How's my wife responding to all this stuff, right? That often becomes most guys' motivation at first, right? They come to me, they find the channel, they read the book because they're trying to save their marriage. They're trying to they're trying to get their wife fuck them again, right? But it's like, yeah, let go of all that attachment to outcome. Let it go. Let it go. Worry about yourself, being the best version of yourself. And she naturally comes along for the ride, right? Because once you take back that power dynamic, you start becoming the captain, allow her to relax and become the executive officer again, that attraction naturally follows, okay? You want to implement a clear personal vision, right? Start moving towards goals regardless of her support or enthusiasm. She probably won't like half the shit you're doing. She probably won't like half the crap that you're doing, right? She certainly will probably complain if you're going out to the gym every night and leaving her with the kids, right? She's going to complain about that. Let her complain about it. Okay. Don't stop doing it, because if she can get you to stop doing it by nagging, complaining, that just reinforces why she's not fucking you. Okay. So you just say, no, honey, I need to get back in shape. I'm not going to stop. Okay. If you want to start going to the gym too, that's cool. I'll watch the kids while you do it, right? Or go to a gym that has a daycare center. There's lots of those. Okay. Like, we'll go drop the kids at the gym. We'll go do it together. Like, whatever. But you're not stopping. Okay. You do what you need to do, regardless of if she's happy or not. Brother David in Beer Club, he's lost a crap load of weight. Just, being in Beer Club, working with me and all that kind of stuff, following the podcast for a long time, reading all the books that I recommend. And he's completely changed his marriage around. And every once in a while, his wife will throw a little fucking shit test like that at him. And I remember, I think it was last year sometime, she got to a point where she's like, okay, you've lost enough weight. I think you've lost enough weight. We can stop the diet and stuff now. And he's like, no, I haven't hit my goal weight. I'm going to keep going. And she threw a fit about it and got all mad or whatever. And when he didn't budge, the next day she was fucking happy and serving him sandwiches and fucking bringing him beers and shit, bringing him cigars. He's a cigar enthusiast. Reignite sexual polarity by embodying the qualities she was originally drawn to. Okay. Decisiveness, assertiveness, ambition, all that kind of stuff. That's what women are naturally drawn to, that stuff. A lot of guys think it's all about money. Oh, she only wants me for my money. And, she only wants me to get a promotion to make more money. And it's all about money, 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 money. No, it's not about the money. It's about the traits that successful guys have that tend to get money, right? But it's the traits that they find attractive, right? Assertiveness, decisiveness, that kind of stuff. Having ambition. They fucking love that. It's palpable to them. They can feel it. Like when you love something and you're passionate about something, they fucking feel it and they love it. They want to be a part of that, right? Money just happens to be there. It's kind of like focusing on improving yourself, not the marriage. The marriage naturally comes around. The same thing with money, right? Like if you focus on having qualities that men have that make money, you tend to start making more money, right? Like you're able to negotiate better salaries and stuff, right? You decide, hey, I'm improving myself. I could get better at my job. What can I study to learn the next technology or whatever the fuck you do, so I could be that much better and that much more marketable in the job marketplace. You know what I mean? Two of my recent dead bedroom clients that just graduated the program, two of them started making more money after the program. Two of them. One of them got offered a job with a $30,000 a year raise, right? Because he started taking the stuff that we were learning in the program to help him with his marriage, and he started applying it in business. And that's why I say at the beginning, I help men level up and get better with women. And the funny thing about that is that tends to help you in all areas of your life, because the things that women find attractive are the things that make men successful. Isn't that weird? It's almost like women are attracted to successful men for a reason. Like I said, a lot of guys think it's money. No, it's these qualities that will help you acquire resources, right? It's not the resources themselves. That's just a cherry on top. You want to reduce your availability, right? Let her wonder what you're up to. This creates space for her to start chasing you again. Okay. If you're not always there, if you're always out doing stuff, if you're always like working on your purpose and hey, I can't do that today, I've got things to do, and you go out and run around, and you're doing a bunch of stuff, and she's always wondering, what the fuck is he doing? What's he up to? Right? Let her wonder. Let that fucking hamster wheel start working for you. Okay. You want to eliminate approval-seeking behavior. Stop trying to make her feel better at your expense. Stop it. Stop asking her if she's happy. Hey, honey, are you happy? Hey, are you, do I make you happy in the relationship? Stop that shit. Okay. Stop asking for her buy-in on stuff. Stop asking for her, hey, is it okay if I do X, Y, and Z? Like the podcast host I was on his show on Monday, go in and ask his wife, hey, honey, do you want me to lead the relationship? Honey, is that what you want? Like, don't ask. Just fucking do this shit, okay? Stop with the approval-seeking behavior. It really does erode attraction over time. They fucking hate that shit. You're acting like a woman, basically. Build emotional resilience, right? This is where having good mental frame comes in. If you guys want a great series of books, get the Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence series. My book, Psychology Paradigm, will help you with that. Raith's book on power frame identity will help you with that. AJ's book on emotional durability will help you with that. And then Thor's latest book that just got released last week, The Superhero Inside, will help you with all that. It's probably the #1 book series for building your mental frame I've ever fucking seen in my life, right? It is phenomenal what we've put together. And I'm not just tooting my own horn because I have a book in the series. Like, these books are legit. Okay. if she tests you, and she will, see it as a sign of interest and lead through it with calm indifference, right? Or agree and amplify. Okay. Basically, one of my coaching clients, he had this epiphany, right? Like, I mean, obviously, like week 2, we talk about how to handle shit tests and stuff like that. But he had this epiphany when I told him, don't take what your wife says so seriously, right? Treat her like she's the most responsible teenager in the house. When she pouts, when she cries, when she throws tantrums, when she starts nagging you, and you look at her like the most responsible teenager in the house, you're not going to take what she says so seriously. You're not going to get into your emotions so much. You're not going to get so fucking angry. You're actually going to think that what she's doing is kind of cute, and you'll be able to handle her shit test better. Fucking light bulbs went off with this guy, because when he came to me, he had a lot of anger issues, right? He had a lot of anger issues. And one of the fights that led him to me almost got police called on him. He was that mad and like punching walls and throwing fits and shit like that. And he basically realized that he lost all control and he needed some help, right? And so he started working with me. And that telling him, hey, don't take what she says so seriously, treat her like the most responsible teenager in the house, fucking clicked with him. And now when she does what she does and she has her mood swings and she's, kind of bitchy and stuff like that, he just thinks it's fucking funny and he doesn't get mad anymore. He's certainly not punching walls. He's certainly not going to get arrested. You see what I'm saying? So that all that kind of stuff is like women trying to manipulate you. And when they see that they can't, they respect you more, and that they can't love you if they don't respect you. Know your worth. Okay. If she's unwilling to respond, even after you level up, be prepared to walk. Okay. Not out of anger, but out of self-respect. Now, I have a video on, it's a clip. It's like a 10, 15-minute clip from one of my podcasts I did a couple of weeks ago, where I basically said, look, let's try to fix these marriages. Okay. Let's try to work on leveling yourself up, increasing your sexual market value again. Try to get back to the guy who she was attracted to in the beginning. Okay. Because that works for 99% of guys out there. But occasionally, because you can't control other people, you can only control yourself. You'll find that when you start leveling up, you start working on this stuff. You start working on your mental frame. You start working on your communication skills. You start working on handling shit tests. You get back in shape. You start making more money. If wife's just not getting on board, right? She's not getting on board anymore. And now you got to, and she's still not fucking you, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing all this stuff. Other women are showing you interest when you go out and you're being social and you're talking to everybody you meet. And you realize, man, why am I in this situation? Right? Well, that's when she's dead weight now. Okay. Well, anyway, I said that, a clip of that, and it's got a whole bunch of views, and the Christian conservatives are losing their fucking minds in the comments, right? Because it's taken out of context, where I'm saying, hey, you're trying to fix your marriage and she's just not getting on board. You need to, life's too short kind of thing, right? Well, all they are hearing is, hey, you work on yourself and she's holding you back, like, just dump her, bro, right? Kind of thing. And so all these guys are like, no, man, if she needs help, you fucking help her. She's your wife, bro. Like, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, you guys have missed the whole fucking episode, right? Where I'm talking about all the work you're putting in to try to fix things, and she's just not getting on board. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the last resort. Okay. But life is too short. Okay. If you are doing all this stuff and she's just not getting on board, life is too short. You need to find a woman that will appreciate all this work that you've put in on yourself. And then you got to understand too, that the work never stops. You got to keep doing this kind of stuff, right? Now your wife either gets on board and you keep doing this stuff, and that you have a miraculous marriage, and everyone fucking looks at you guys like the epitome of relationship. And they put hashtag relationship goals and shit in the comments or whatever, because you live such a fucking awesome life. Or you dump your wife because she's dead weight now, and you go find a woman, and then you have that kind of relationship, and you keep working on yourself, and you have that relationship with someone that appreciates it, right? That's the point, right? And then guys, none of this is about manipulating her. This is about becoming a man who commands respect, desire, and admiration again, right? It's about fixing you, not trying to change her or manipulate her to do something a certain way, right? She either gets on board or she doesn't, right? More times than not, she's going to get on board, okay? Especially if she really does love you and she just doesn't know why she's not attracted to you anymore. I've been, I post things in dead bedroom forums every once in a while. I reply to people's comments and stuff like that. And I had a lady reply to me the other day where she's in the dead bedroom forum, but she's the one that doesn't want to fuck her husband, right? And she read that post and she goes, this is exactly the way it is. She goes, this is exactly it. This is why I don't feel emotionally connected with him. She's like, I love him, but he just won't, take the lead. He lost his ambition. He's gotten too comfortable and I just don't want to fuck him anymore. Right. Like that's what she said to me. She's like, if he just did those things, she's like, I would enthusiastically fuck him. That's most guys' marriages out there, right? That's most guys' marriages. It's not about manipulating her. It's about becoming the best possible version of yourself. Right. All right, guys, this has been a fun episode. We're a little bit over the hour here. Let's go ahead and wrap up. Do be sure to tune into the podcast on Friday. It will be Frame Friday, and we will discuss why your woman needs to enter your frame, not the other way around. Okay. I mentioned it earlier in the podcast, but brother David from Beer Club shared a video with me yesterday. I also dropped it in the Beer Club chat. So if you guys in Beer Club missed it, like scroll up a little bit. But there was this guy who was talking about how he prioritizes his wife's happiness over everyone else in the house, and he purposely puts his happiness last. Whose frame is he operating in? He's operating in her frame, right? And if you're operating in her frame, she's going to lose attraction for you. Fucking period. Okay. I might steal a clip that Ryan Stone shared on TikTok, or it was from TikTok. It was Owen Cook, right? If you guys don't know who Owen Cook is, he was one of the guys that founded Real Social Dynamics, right? RSD. You guys ever read the book The Game by Neil Strauss? He went by Tyler Durden in that book. He was RSD's Tyler Durden. Well, Owen Cook, now he's still out there. He's still giving speeches. He's still talking about intersexual dynamics. And he was talking about how he had this girl that he put on a pedestal and he had no frame around her, and why she kept, she lost attraction for him. And it was all because he had no fucking frame, right? Frame is everything. And she has to be in your frame or it's not going to work out. We'll get into all of that on Friday. But until then, guys, do be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. I do have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday without fail at this time. Oh, hey, TikTok, it's time for the little puzzle piece, huh? Must have went past an hour. Oh, hold on. Let's try it again. Boop. There we go. TikTok, after an hour, wants to make sure I'm still here, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, like, subscribe, hit those notifications. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thanks for everyone that sounded off the chat today. Thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate you, Kamal and John. Thank you for the super chats. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list, list.comeonmanpod.com, and get the free ebook, She's Made You Weak. And then get my book, Get Her to Fuck You Again, books.comeonmanpod.com. And you can also find all my other two books at books.comeonmanpod.com. Here it is, Get Her to Fuck You Again. It's also available on Amazon. I just created a workbook, a self-paced workbook that goes with Get Her to Fuck You Again. I submitted it to Amazon on Monday, I think. Yeah, I think Monday I submitted it to Amazon. It's still waiting for their approval process. But once that's out, you can read the book, you can listen to it on Audible, and it's a daily activity that you do. And it's got questions and prompts for you to think about in your relationship. And as long as you read the book with it and do the workbook, man, this is going to fix some fucking marriages. And I'm excited about it, dude. I'm excited about it. Guys, get in Beer Club. Our hangouts tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Go to beer.comeonmanpod.com for that. Connect with a bunch of like-minded guys. And then, guys, if you want to one-on-one help, you've been reading all the books and you just don't know how to apply this stuff in your own situation and you're just not making any headway. And if you could have fixed it yourself by now, you would have. It's time to book a call, okay? Go to call.fixdeadbedrooms.com, all right? That's all we got. Hold on. Do we have any other super chats? Nope. Oh, Nurse Chick's here. Look at this. Better late than never. Happy hump day, gentlemen. Nurse Chick gets, I'm not mad that you're this late, Nurse Chick. I'm just disappointed. Okay.
I'm so naughty.
Yes.
I'm going to come.
Oh, I will. Nurse Chick and I went out on motorcycles last night for the first time this season. That was fun. We went out to CB's down in Delta, went motorcycle riding. Good times. Good times. All right, guys, that's all we got. We will see you on Friday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.